2 years ago, this video blew up the internet. It's a Corvette C7 Stingray running from the police. But there was one small detail of this video that made the car and the driver insanely viral. Let's take a look at what happened here and how the infamous Quiet Corvette came to be. Now, usually when someone mentions a Corvette Stingray, all car guys immediately imagine an old man sitting next to his Corvette at a car show. However, this specific Stingray was purchased for a very different reason, to say the least. A reason that involves outrunning the police. So the car quickly became not a stock C7. It has some very weird and cool modifications, which we'll get to in a second. But this whole situation gets very weird when you realize just how famous the car and the driver is. But at the same time, nobody knows exactly who owns this car. Let me explain. The owner of this car goes by the name RlySlo on the internet, which is kind of ironic. With over 1.2 million followers on TikTok and 700,000 followers on Instagram. However, across both of these accounts, not a single video shows his face. That's right. The guy wears a racing helmet in every single video. He even mentioned once that he never drives the car without the helmet on. This is partly because he doesn't want his identity connected to the car, but I suspect there's another reason as to why he wears the face bucket. If you quickly scroll through one of the RlySlo social media pages, you'll notice something. There are countless videos of him driving in ways that would make the law not very happy, to say the least. Now we'll get to the more interesting part of this story. Remember when I mentioned at the start of this video that it was one small detail that made RlySlo and his car famous? Well, because his car was purchased as essentially a getaway vehicle, the owner decided to make some pretty crazy modifications. Like, I'm talking James Bond level stuff here. We'll start with the basics though. The Stingray, if it's even fair to call it that anymore, has a fully built engine with forged internals, so it can make crazy power. And crazy power is exactly what it makes, with over 1,000 horsepower to the wheels. How that's even drivable, I have no idea. According to a post that the owner made on social media, the total price of the car and all the mods is still less than a C7 ZR1, which is actually a pretty good deal for that amount of horsepower if you think about it. Now let's discuss the crazy stuff. He's fitted a parachute on the back of the car. Yes, a parachute. And my two favorite mods are first, a night vision camera, which ties into the final and most insane mod. Somehow the owner has managed to fit a kill switch for all of the lights. This shuts off every light in the car, including the brake lights, and enables what the owner calls ghost mode. As you can see in the video, the car goes basically invisible in the dark, with the exception of him flashing his brights every now and then. And with no lights, he's invisible, so the authorities can't even catch the guy. Luckily for innocent people on the road, it appears that RlySlo has kind of toned it down a bit and now takes his cars to the racetrack instead. And yes, I said cars. His popularity on social media has definitely got him a bit of money because he's slowly building up quite the car collection. He has the C7 Stingray, a Honda NSX, and my favorite, a Dodge Viper. And I can only imagine the crazy horsepower and mods that the Viper has. Once again, people, drive normally. It's cool to see high horsepower cars like these, but it would be nice if the high speed stuff stayed on the tracks. Anyways, thanks so much for subscribing and watching, and I'll see you in my next video.